This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
I love how now, in the last year or two, more and more people are open to this metaphysical thing. And yeah, if you called upon, let's say, a psychic medium, that would be great. And if you called upon a life coach to give you some insight, maybe based on what the medium said, that would be great too. And then if you, let's say you wanted to do some energy healing, people are finally picking up on the fact that everything is energy, including us. That would be great too. Now imagine if you take all of them and put them into one person, powerful combination to pilot your life forward, give you some connection, some insight, potentially some closure. I found her for you, and we are going to tune into Layla's channel. She is here today. We welcome her. Hi, Layla. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Steve. How about yourself? How are you today?
Fantastic. Fantastic. And I love how you blend all of these modalities together. And I really truly feel that they do work together. Like, for example, correct me if I'm wrong on this, you get some psychic information. The average person, oh, all right, I got it. What do I do with that? You can direct them, depending what the information is, as a life coach. But maybe things don't feel right, and maybe their energy is all mucked up, if you will, and then you can help them with that for a better impact on their lives. Would you say that that kind of explains, in a broad sense, what you do?
Yes, I think so. In layman's terms, I think that's a perfect.
When we say psychic medium, how do you define that?
For me, psychic medium is I get insights and visions into people's future, what's happening now. I can see there's timelines, which timelines are the highest for them, what options are out there for them at their paths. And for mediumship, it is actually connecting with people who have crossed over, friends, family, guides, angel messages. I've definitely been connected with angels since I was a small child. And so they are just floating around me, and they just help hold the channel for me as I bring in that person's messages. So that's how I would define a psychic and a medium. And I work on a website that clumps them together. But usually for me, psychic is seeing visions and knowing things ahead of time and getting insights and feel, sense. I use people say all the clairs. We have senses, right? You can sense, you can feel, you can hear, you can know. Things that other people may not, or you might know them ahead of time. For me, that's the psychic part. And then the mediumship part is talking to people who've crossed over, whom I see just like I see you. But now I've learned to distinguish because they are a little hazier. They're like a hologram. Like you have somebody standing behind you on your left side. You're a male and a female on your mom's side have passed and they're standing over you. But I can see them like I can see you. And then the only difference is that I can reach out and touch you versus them. My hand would go right through them. So the mediumship and psychic are a little bit different.
I'm getting chills. Do you really see somebody near me, or is that was just an example?
No, I do. I was going to say that when we first talked, because sometimes you're open to receive this information. So the more that people are open and just trust the process, right? We're all kind of, we have these, they're called organized religions for a reason, right? Catholicism, Christianity, you name them, they're all organized. Somebody organized them and told us what rules to follow. They don't necessarily always follow the rules of the universe, the laws of the universe. And so for me, I always like to wait to see if somebody's open like you are and see what parts they share. Because sometimes people are doubt, right? We have I call them the doubting Thomases, which is my entire family. And what? You can't do that. And when you start to bring in messages and just tell them things that there's no way you could have known, they start to believe. For you, you're quite open. You're very open to receiving. You're very open to supporting, and you're very in tune with your energies. So it's very easy to see. You actually have a lot of relatives on your mom's side standing on your left side and a few on your dad's. So yes, I can see them. We could definitely talk about them, or I could give you messages if you like later. I'm not sure how you'd like this to go, but they're there. They're there definitely coming in to give you messages.
I'm an open book. You can say whatever and I will validate. I am going to say that, yeah, I'm not skeptical, but I need to see true validation. But I do understand the process that sometimes it might not be specific, and then later it starts getting revealed. And that's have happened to me quite a few times where it's like, all right, that's kind of general. All right, I'm getting a little more specific. Then in the same conversation, there's like a zinger, and it's like, oh, tight bow, tied it all up. That is exactly what it was. And sometimes, sometimes you have to think. Like I call it psychic amnesia. Like, this stuff is coming at you. You have to kind of put it together and figure it all out. So, yeah, I hold nothing back. You can, we don't even have to take it offline. You can just throw it my way. I'm all good.
Sometimes I'm not sure. A lot of the readings I do, I let people record them, but they're in private because a lot of the messages are private. Some things that pull up, like I said, I'll pull up in one session. Even if I'm healing somebody, there's a past life trauma. Usually we bring in our traumas from our past lives to be healed in this life. And they're either physical ailments, mental ailments, or some relationship. I don't want to say ailments, but in relationship cycles that we have to complete and finish. And sometimes they're very private, but who's the dark hair? Did your mom or grandmother have dark hair, tall, like a tall for a woman? I'm 5'5.5", so I'm average, but she's a little bit taller than me, like 5'8", 5'9", so I consider that tall for a woman. And she's got darker hair, but it looks like she keeps it back or up, and she's coming in at like the age of like 45 or 50. So I'm not sure if somebody in your family passed from them, but you definitely have a female on your left side, which is your mom's side, leaning over, and she's like whispering. So either she's showing me you either look or act like her. So you might have resemblances more. Do you resemble more on your mom's side of the family? I know you have some of your dad's stuff too, but something about your mom's side, maybe it's your personality, maybe it's your intelligence. This woman seems to think that she's helping you. She's the reason you're as smart as you are and as creative as you are. So she must have been somebody like you in when she was alive. But she's standing here. She's brown hair and brown eyes, very pretty woman, like kind of a girl next door. So she's coming in as younger. Do you have pictures of, or do you know who this woman is?
I'm trying to process it, and I don't have, big family. So like, but it could be people maybe I'm unaware of. Wouldn't be my mom because she had lighter colored eyes. And she was about your height. So I got to think about that for a moment.
Yeah, you can do. What will happen is they'll come in and they'll keep giving me more messages. So
Yeah.
sometimes, and I'll start to remote view their house. They'll show me pieces of your house, something to validate. So as we keep
Sure.
going, she'll come in more because she seems very like she either couldn't speak, she had a stroke, or something happened to her near the end of her life. And when she's connecting with me, her energy's kind of muted. So she's trying to give me messages, but they're not as clear. But you've got a couple other around there too. And I can keep giving you these messages, or we can go on to I think you were going to ask me questions. But
Well, all right, let's stop. Let's stop. Like, we're here now, so why leave?
Okay.
Sounds like my aunt.
Okay. So
And just what, and the seal that deal, she was tall, she did have a stroke. She had challenges talking at the end of her life. Here's the other funky part. She always wore wigs. So even I don't even I think back as a kid, like what color was her hair? She was known for that. That was her kind of thing. And people knew her for that as well. And some other fashionable type stuff. I'd have to say it's her.
okay.
Yeah.
And do you have characteristics or personality traits like her? Was she stubborn, and you were like, you would not people would say you're stubborn, but you were just very determined and focused. Like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. And this is what she's saying. She used to be like that. She would hip check somebody out of the way just to be where she's supposed to be. If they were bothering her, that she seems that, I mean, then she'd say, I'm sorry, I bumped you, but you were in my space. Like, she's very knew who she was. And she is showing me you have this kind of personality trait like her, whereas you're determined to get something done. And it doesn't matter what obstacles you need to overcome, but you will see them and you'll get through them. And this is where she's imparting, like, you got that from her. She's very proud you got that from her. So do you have that type of personality trait where you're just very focused, determined, no matter what people say?
Yes, I'm determined, focused. I used to worry what people say. Got over that, in a period of time. Certainly as a kid, that was in my way. However, that's my aunt. Without a doubt, like that was her. That was absolutely her, and she was a trailblazer in some areas there too. Yep.
Yep, and I feel like this is she's very proud of you. She loves you. I'm not sure if she was close with your mom or not, or if this is your mom's aunt or your
This
mom's.
is my mom's sister.
But she seems very proud. Maybe she also helped raise you, or she helped your mom, and like they just collaborated. Like, oh my gosh, these kids are driving me crazy. And she'd be like, well, try this or do that, or let them have freedom, or so whatever this is, she seems very close. Whether your mom and she were close in real life, she does seem to think that she's very proud. I'm not sure if she had children of her own. Looks like she may have had, but she, for some reason, she really seems to have connected with you on a soul level and an energy level where she's connected still when she's crossed. And so she's right here on your left side. You may feel warmth on your left shoulder too, or your neck. You might feel somebody standing behind you. There is clearly in real life nobody behind you, but she is in the energy field right behind you.
You're right. I'm not, and I will never just say, well, yeah, you're right, because we're doing a podcast together. You're right. So she and my mom did collaborate. They worked together, Aunt's business. And my aunt did take care of me when my mom was busy. And you said, you're not sure if, your aunt had kids that night. You could have just punted on that one and said 50-50 chance. Yeah, and she had kids too. She didn't have kids. And I was one of her kids, if you will. And also, with some cousins and my sister.
So she took them, she considered you as her children, even though she didn't actually have one, didn't give birth to them.
That's what you said.
Yep.
And it's right.
So this is her coming in. So what happens, I want to explain again, I think I did before we came on. My angel is Layla, and she's a direct channel. So what happens is I lift my vibration and I create a channel, because in order to, just like Wi-Fi, right? We know Wi-Fi exists. It's a wavelength of frequency. So is everything else in the world. The only reason we could see what we see is because our minds are creating this, and we're allowing this creation into our reality. And the people who have crossed over, we've been told, conditioned and to believe that there's nothing other than, can't see it, can't touch it. It's not there. But when I create this channel, my vibration high, and what happens is the angels come down to create this like kind of a cylinder, and it blocks my energy. And then I allow your energy to come in. So all of these messages, it's like a USB port drops down, plugs in, I deliver your messages, go back up. I will not remember a lot of things when I start to channel, because it's a true channel, and it's not my business to hold all that in my brain. It's your messages from source code, your angels and your ancestors directly. And so it has no business in my mind or brain. So once it's disconnected, I wouldn't remember that information until you and I connected again. And so that's a bit of privacy, because a lot of things I do too, when I'm pulling up Akashic records and everything, it's there's some traumas, and a lot of people, I don't need to remember other people's traumas or hold that energy. So it goes right back up. And so when I see these messages and they come in, because you also have a guide that's a very tall, your family's from Europe? Who came from Europe? Which side of the family? Because there's a man that's very prestigious, looks like he held lord or like some type of a title over in Europe. And I'm trying to figure out which country. But this person is an ancestor that's turned into your guide to bring you very business, astute in business, and bringing you that kind of acumen into your life. So he's the person that's responsible for, if you're good at business, you have great business ideas. Well, you're on a podcast, clearly you have great business ideas. So he's here as well.
I could comment. You tell me what we can. There's something impactful about what you just said. I'll just say it. Father's side of family, don't have deep connections there. Did Ancestry.com, and also did a genealogist. Said, let me take a look at what you got and put it all together. And what I found out in the last year or so is, didn't even know I'm Lithuanian.
No, you're Lithuanians. You're not Lithuanian. You're Lithuanian. We're Polish. My family's from Polish. That T is very hard. Welcome to the family.
Well, I didn't even know. I had no idea. And this could be that person. It would be my father's father or his father. He was a very visible tailor in Lithuania, according to the genealogist. Worked his butt off, really pushed hard, was able to move his family to New York, where he also did really well as a tailor. And the genealogist, with just a couple of facts, was able to figure out the street that he lived on. But he was a hustler, and he got it done, and he was able to come to America and all that. And so, I'd have to say that's probably him, and probably more on my radar, because I just learned this in the last year and change.
And he seems to be coming in to give you business acumen and kind of that sturdy, when it was all USSR, my families used to say like it was the Slavic, right? We just clumped the Russians, the Poles, the Lithuanians, the Czech, everybody. But it's that kind of persistence and endurance, regardless of what hardships you face, that he's bringing in this like energy for you to understand that it will always get better. Just keep going. This too shall pass. So this is the information. And so I get goosebumps. I call them angel bumps. I'm getting them all over my body. You might feel goosebumps as well upon your body or some tingling. This is him just coming in. He seems to be tapping the back of your head here, but he's there kind of whispering to you all the time, giving you business ideas, not to interfere, but just to, these ideas that you came in to do something great. And he's there to encourage you to keep going.
Cool. All right. I don't want to focus on me. If anything pops up before the end, please throw it my way.
Okay.
This is just a piece of you. Now, then there's the life coach side of you where what comes, chicken or egg? What's first? Do you start doing the psychic side of you, the psychic medium side, and that blends into life coaching? Or would you feel that all of this stuff, even Reiki, energy healing, for those that don't know, it all works together? You use all of it when you work with somebody.
I usually use all of it when I work with somebody, because what happens is when I begin to come in, angels will come in with me, they'll lift the room, and then I start to feel and sense for the energy. So the Reiki comes first and the messages come. And it depends on the client. So some clients only want to connect. Some clients only want their past, to know about past lives or future and guidance from angels on I usually come in. My goal, people always think, oh, you're going to give me messages. I'm here to validate and empower you to realize that the dreams and the things that are that you feel and sense and want to do, that your heart's desire, I'm here to validate that for you so that you understand that's what you're supposed to be coming in for. This is your life's purpose. So me coming in and guiding them that way. What happens is past lives come up, and I can pull up in a session up to four or five past lives in an hour session to tell you where these wounds are, what emotional, physical, what kind of, I call it, it's not a good idea to call it baggage, but what did you bring in this life? Because you didn't heal it in last life, and you're here to undo it, close the channels, forgive each other, and move forward. So this, because a lot of past life things for women come in forms of ovarian, uterine cancer, and it's being unloved from the past life. So, those in and clearing that. And what happens in that process is I'm pulling them in. Angels are going into their Akashic records and clearing that for them. Steps and advice are given to them so they can carry it forward. So if they listen to the messages that are given to them and take the steps and directions and guidance, and some of this is, their actual physical things, whether to write, to reach out. Usually I'll get a remote vision that can remote view their room or get a vision to validate for them again, because a lot of messages come in. So as I start the healing, the messages come, and it really just depends on the client and how comfortable and safe they are feeling this message and receiving, because the more you believe, the more you receive, right? We know that when we pray or we meditate, if we're religious or we're spiritual, then we feel we get into our Zen spot and we connect with the universe. We connect with source, what people call God. So the more they believe, the easier it is to bring in all these messages. And I honor their belief system, and I don't want to force, I'm bringing in their channel. So their angels tell me how to go about and carry out the session. Sometimes it's past life. Sometimes it's just medium. Sometimes it's healing. Sometimes it's all of it. It really depends on I can read their energy and their thoughts. Nobody keeps their thoughts inside. Everybody's thoughts and energy are projected out into their field. So it's very easy to see, and for angels to see what they're really afraid of, where they want to go, and how to help them move past their fear, and then give them guidance into following their dreams.
And is it around the same principle that if you practice gratitude, you show the universe that I am grateful for what I have, it'll give you more, because now it knows, right?
Yes. Or the more grateful you are, the more the universe wants to bring you that vibration. Because when you're standing in gratitude, that vibration, just like a ripple in a pond, when you throw a little tiny stone in there, it ripples out. So does gratitude. And gratitude is a bigger magnetic pull than not being grateful. And the same thing, it's you could be, how you can be a grumpy Gus or, just not in a good mood. And you can see when you walk into that room, how somebody who's not in a good mood is going to try to affect everybody else, because they're already projecting this energy. Same thing, voice. And So through the life coaching, the past life coaching, it also helps them. Angels will give them guidance on what thought patterns to remove. Like instead of why me, ask the universe, what is in this for me? What's my lesson? How do I go about this event and this experience in a better way? Right? Because we all know the definition of insanity is repeating a cycle over and over again and expecting a different result. So angels come in and give them guidance on how to move out of those thought processes and implement new mindset changes so that they can follow their dreams and they know that they're worthy. So it's a matter of building them up. You're absolutely right, though. If you remember with your mom, you are what you eat, or don't hang out with friends, right? Choose your friends wisely. It's the same thing. In energy, if you are not grateful and you're always, oh, rah, 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 more of that rah, rah, rah is going to come to you.
Oh, totally. And it's the same thing, when you hear from your mom, be careful what you ask for. Well, you're asking for it. Like, even if you're cranky, like, this day is horrible. What else is going to happen? You ask for it. Wait for it. It's going to show up. You're looking for it. I love your superpower is your clarity. Like, you're very easy to understand all these principles. And yes, they are woo for some that, haven't dug deeper into it. You make it very easy to understand. And I want to share with you, not about me, but this is how this all, I believe, works. I've worked with lots of psychics. You're good.
Oh, thank you.
And here's something else that I want to share with you. Last night, I was having a conversation with an acquaintance, but we never talked about doing business. We talked about that. And I talked about psychics, just through, a situation, a reading I had back in the day. This is last night. And in my conversation with him, this wasn't psychic connected, I was talking about my aunt because she was big into real estate. This person connected to real estate, and we're just having a conversation about that. And everything that I'd shared and you just shared, I was telling him about it. I really believe that many times when you're stirring the pot, talking about somebody on the other side, they come in for a reading. I've never had anybody bring my aunt forward.
Oh, well, I'm very honored that she came through. I'm getting all these goosebumps in my chest, and you might feel some tingling or warmth in your heart. This is her just being. And did she ever do something with her nose? Because she's making my nose itch, but just the tip. Like, I don't know if did she have maybe a nose that was very prominent, or did she always like touch her nose? Or because to me, she seems to indicate to me that this. She says you're not going to get it till later. You're going to remember it later. But
I got it. I got it. I don't know if she's referring to my mom, but my mom lost half her nose to skin cancer.
Okay, I'm getting angel bumps everywhere, all over my body. It's just another indication and validation that for you, that she's here. You probably feel goosebumps as well. I always call them angel bumps. You're welcome to use that word. She's just very proud to be around. She's right. Okay, so your aunt was one of those people who knew her worth, correct? Like she would speak her mind.
Oh yeah.
But she just said, she goes, I haven't found a psychic strong enough to come in and hold my energy so I could come to him.
Maybe. Tag, you're it.
Yeah.
And you said something before that resonated with me. You're a life coach, yes. But I've never heard the term past life coach. Maybe someday we dig into that. By the way, I had my first ever past life regression through hypnotherapy 3 weeks ago. Whoa.
Wow. Oh, how exciting was that? Did you like it?
I did, and I'm a skeptic. So anybody listening, oh, Steve's just yesing her today. No, when I had that regression, I'm skeptical. I'm like, how could that be me in that scene and this and whatever? But there were moments that I got extremely emotional. Why would I if I'm not connected to it? Wouldn't mean anything.
Right.
And twice, and I felt it like, oh, I was like wild. For me, God puts me about 60% there in the past life regression moment there, maybe 70% of just, I felt it. Why would I even be feeling it? Unless it was me back in the day.
That's a good experience then. So my past life coaching is a little bit different. I don't have to regress you. I can pull up all of those quickly. And if
Gotcha.
angels want you to feel or see a vision, I will ask you to touch your forehead. So the vision will come in, you'll see what the light, but I'll describe it enough for you so your mind can see it and your cells remember and pull it up.
Yeah.
We don't use all of our brain. And there's so many frequencies that our brains have the ability to connect with. Again, we were told if you can't see it, you can't touch it. It doesn't exist. And if it does exist, oh my goodness, it's probably bad. Don't connect with it, which is totally fine. So, there's good and bad. It's your choice and the intention of the person connecting what you connect with.
Sure.
But that past life, I pull in. And if you need, the reason my past life is I can pull them up and clear those pains. So I can tell you why you bringing up this past life, what gifts you're coming in with from that past life, and what is it that you have to either overcome, address, or deal with so that you can move forward. And then angels will buffer that pain. If it's like some people, I've seen them in battle and they've died and they've had these wounds and they've always had like shoulder pains this whole life. And it's because of the past wound that they're holding on to. And so the wound and the pain will go away. It's buffered with angels, but the messages for them and the gifts that were for them come forward. They're cleared 100% in the light. And so we can close that past life for them and move forward to the next one. So it's a little bit different than most people who put you in kind of a hypnotherapy to go back and have you walk through it. I don't need you to do that because it's all there for me. And angels will show me which ones are really important for you to bring up and clear in that session.
Totally gotcha. And there were things that came up that I connected to challenges that I've had throughout my life. And we all got stuff going on.
Yes.
But I saw the theme, the common theme here. And with your ability, like you said, and there was nothing wrong. I'm grateful I got back there and just, saw things or whatever. But you don't have to do that when you've got somebody like you, where you've already identified these things. Now let's work on them. We're out of time. I could keep going. Like you're so easy to talk to, focused. You make it fun. We're learning stuff. We're moving life forward. We're finding out what our journey is, but it's in a fun way. How do we find you? How do we connect with you?
So you can connect with me. I do work on a website I'm moving away from because it's not mine, but you can look. I am on Yelp as Layla's channel. I'm just starting that advertising. And then there's Calendly, which is an app you can search for me, and that's where you can make and schedule appointments with me. And I think you can also reach me through phone or email and contact me directly too. Do I give that number now or you have that information already?
Go right ahead.
Okay, so you can contact me on my phone, it's California. So if you're in the US, it's 949-447-7815. If you're outside the US, add that +1 and then give me a call. And then my email is saluque91@gmail. So you can contact me there. And again, if you look up the app Calendly, that's a global app. So anybody can look it up outside the US as well. And you look up Layla's channel, you'll be able to find me on there.
Fantastic talking with you. Thank you for the insight on my aunt, first for me. I can't say there's anything there that you said was incorrect. It's all the pieces are like there. And that's a first for me. So I appreciate that. And looking forward, if the universe says we're getting together again, we are getting together again.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting together with you. Sure. I'm pretty sure that's out there and I know it's out there. So I'm just going to manifest it in. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me and being open enough for me to give you the messages and to receive them.
I am very grateful I tuned into Layla's channel today. Very much.
Well, so you have a good rest of your day. Take care. It's very nice to meet you.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.